Lawn sprinkler system or lawn irrigation for residential use, some commercial applications. Question, an oscillating head, if one is unaware of what an oscillating head is, this would be, I'm not certain if this is the correct nomenclature. However, what an oscillating head does, it pushes up from the bottom, the water pressure. It has a, say, a 3/4 female thread. The water pressure drives it up. This sits flush with the ground or below the ground. Then it pushes this part up. It has a spring loaded here. So inside, I think there may be a spring. So what happens when the water pressure stops? It goes back down. So I'm assuming, I don't know, but maybe the water pressure is stronger than the spring. So when the water pressure goes off, I'm not certain on the all the inner workings of that. However, this head here can be set from 0 to 360 degrees. So when you set a head from 0 to 360, say if you wanted to do 1/4 of a turn or an 1/8 of a turn, you can set it. This key here is for the set. Now, there are these orifices here. One would only need to have one. And the orifice would go in here. You would have to pop the head up and put in here. There's a set screw here, and this metal part fits into the set screw. So once you have the metal part inset into the set screw, you can turn the set screw clockwise or counterclockwise. One may ask, well, what does this do? Simply say, if you had a stream of water going this way 20 feet, and you started screwing the set screw clockwise, I think clockwise, don't hold me to this, but then the set screw would go down and it would touch the water. So then the water may go only 15 foot, but it would fan out under here. If you turned it counterclockwise, then what happened, the water below here would maybe you would miss some of the water. It may shoot out a farther distance. So it becomes down to fine tuning and tweaking whatever works, how big your yard is, the topography of the yard, the layout, the landscaping. It's not a one size fits all. It has to be done. One caveat here: if you're unsure of yourself when doing this, it may not be a bad idea to call an irrigation expert, because setting these heads can be it can be easy if you know what you're doing, but if you're a newbie, setting them can be tricky, and there's certain little tricks that help out. But notwithstanding, so basically you take the metal end here and you would put it in here, right here. Now then there's another slot on top. One would turn this and put this in here, and then rotate this, and then if you turn this clockwise or counterclockwise, this would adjust how far the oscillating would go. So now on many of the pop-up heads, they have a 5, 10, 8 foot, 6 foot range, 15 foot range, but these here can be adjusted, and again they will oscillate perhaps maybe from 0 to 360 degrees. So and then if you unscrew it, but the plastic end here, as one can see, is stuck in here. So this would be where we would adjust this. The metal end would go in here. This is where the water would come out. It would fit in the set screw. Either screw it up or down, depending on your situation. One caveat: if you screw this up, if you unscrew this too far, the orifice you put in here may go out, and when it does, the water may begin to hemorrhage, and you may lose water pressure on your system. So then you would have to reinstall another one. It's not the end of the world, but it's one thing to be aware of when you're doing this. So again, this little tool here on this particular brand, you have one end to do the 0 to 360. You have the other end to do how far the water shoots in a distance. And and this is an oscillating sprinkler system. This will get you from 0 to 360. This is more where you have a bigger area in the lawn, not just a small area. The small area, say a 2-foot section, 3-foot section, a pop-up head would be better because this may throw out too far. And if it throws out too far, then at this point, you may overshoot your destination, your grass destination. So this would be for your main area of your yard where you had a good amount of turf in the yard. So an oscillating sprinkler system for lawn, for the average, some of residential lawns, some commercial applications. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.